Welcome everybody to Dawn of Faelin, a new campaign set in the world of Faelin, an age of myth and legend, with heroes of old fighting legendary beasts, and mostly goofing around and causing the GM troubles. We haven't even gotten that part yet, but I can sense it already. So we have with us KeikoandGilly, Jestre, DeRama, qdHazen, and me, Frey, the GM. And this is session 0 of Dawn of Faelin with our lovely crew here. Actually, you're more like cargo?
Cargo?
Because you're on a ship, and there's pirates, and you're forced to row, mostly, and yeah, it's not the greatest, you know, being a hero and then suddenly being captured by pirates and forced to row. I mean, it's not the best. It's not the best thing to be having happen to you, but nevertheless. Here you are, on a ship, headed to probably the gladiatorial pits in Galicia, most likely. But, hey, you get company. You have conversational, like people right next to you. You can just talk to them, like, "Hey, how you doing?" And they probably stare at you like angrily, like.
Prostagma.
Oh, there's a swear word. Probably shouldn't use that.
One of us is gonna have to censor that.
The frick are you looking at, boy?
The frick
sort
you
of
looking
thing.
at?
And you know, that sort of thing. So let me just go from the start. Jestre, why don't you introduce your character to us?
You'll have to fill me in on the location of home in a moment again, but...
Oh, Khemri.
Khemri?
Yeah, sort of Egyptian-inspired nation. In the desert and the oasis. The large river, the great river, passing through the desert, giving life around it.
My character is from the land of Khemri. I am Nazim Ra. I was captured as I was found valuable by the pirates that want to sell me into whatever they want. I am a ranger, and I have very fine skills in nature, but sometimes I can be outnumbered. And unfortunately, that leads me to my current predicament.
Indeed, such a predicament it is. Let us move on down. Hazen. You've recently just joined us today, and you've had like not that much
quite the
time
crash
to make
course,
a character.
isn't it?
But go ahead. What have you got for us so far? What is your character so far, my friend?
Well, my name is Delphus. I am a half-elf and a cleric of Apollo. I grew up in the Galician Republic, and since there's a great deal of religious turmoil, shall we say, that's going on, a rogue group had separated me from the priests who had raised me since pretty much ever since I was found. And I was sold to the pirates and had spent quite some time on this ship working the oars.
Yeah.
I forgot if I explicitly stated that I'm a catfolk.
Oh yeah, you're a catfolk. That's probably important.
I was trying to give little vocal hints. Perfect.
I think that's usually what cats do when they want food. Or they bring something disgusting into the kitchen, under the table. Like,
hey, look what I got you! It's a dead rat!
Look what I got! I got a dead pirate! Probably for later. Alright, finally we got Keiko. What is your character?
Okay, I'll speak it in character, if that's all right.
Go on.
That's why not.
My name is Argyris Ziniaz. My name is Argyris Zenaya. I hail from the kingdom of Unliano. I am Leonosian, and Leonosians thrive, warlike society, with their motto, Nia Flegus Baptissimum, might above all. Blessed by the power of Ares, the god of war, we are a nation to be feared. For our soldiers are trained since birth the art of combat, and I am but the mold of that combat. War shapes me, and war is all I know. For he who shows might shows power above all things.
Yeah. And you are shackled with your feet and your arms. You're in a cage. And yeah, these are really strong shackles as well. Because they expect to sell you to the gladiatorial ring in Galicia. And people know about you. They like, some of the people like on the boat recognize you. The pirates are like, oh, it's
Prostak
I don't know.
It's what's his name?
It's Argyris! Curse you! You'll be fighting lions for sure.
Argyris looks to them, but says nothing. He can recall this moment up until the previous time. He was fighting a war on sea just to the northwest of the coast of Lianos. He was in a mighty sea battle with the Galician Empire. Unfortunately, his ship was wrecked in the mid-battle and was adrift at sea, only to find himself in this predicament. He says nothing.
Crew. Looks like taken, yeah?
He says nothing, but his glare says everything, saying, if and when I get out, you will be the first to be killed.
Let's sort of roll an intimidation check, actually.
Okay, give me one.
First roll of the game. Let's go.
First roll, intimidation.
Intimidation roll.
Let's have a look. It was 11. Yeah, you're shackled with like so many shackles. Like, if that wasn't the case, he'd be scared shitless of you. But he's like, nah, you're not getting out. These are blessed shackles. Dude, you're not getting out of here. These are alloys forged by the best smith in the Empire.
Shackles are only temporary in the grand scheme of things.
All right, so you're in a cage. Now, let's reflect the others' stats, I suppose. What is your highest stat, each of you?
Strength.
Yeah, I know. Strength. Nazimra.
My highest stat? You mean like the standard stats?
Yeah, like your most useful stat that your class uses, I suppose. What would be scary, or like what would be like most defining of your character sort of stat?
Why does it look like my dexterity keeps changing between 19 and 17?
I don't know. So dexterity then. You're blessed by Zinch or something.
19, I guess. Dexterity.
So dexterity. So you're quite tricksy. So you'd probably be. How much strength do you have?
16.
Oh, so you're strong enough to be a rower. So yeah, you'd probably be just a standard rower then, like sitting in one of the like seats there, probably 2 men to your side or like stuff like that, rowing in the like sync to the drums, dum 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 dum. Row quicker, you worthless sacks of you scum! Just keep rowing. All right, let's see here. The half elf. What's your highest stat?
Yeah. It's between intelligence and wisdom. They both have the same score.
Also, you don't have that good strength.
Nah, it's about 11.
Yeah,
So
you're
average.
just cargo. You're not even useful as a rower. You're like stored in the like just cargo area in a box, like a little cage, wooden cage. It's dark. It smells of seawater. You can hear the muted sound of drums coming above, like. Like, and you hear the water splashing against the side of the ship, like every now and then you feel a wave crashing against the ship as well. And why don't you roll me a perception check, Q?
Nat 20.
Very good. With that nat 20, you look around. It is dark. It is. Do you have low light vision by chance, as an elf, half elf?
As a half elf, I do have low light vision.
Yes. The light sort of like coming from the cracks above in the boards, like the dust coming down. You know, sort of making a almost snowfall sort of pattern in the light. With that, it illuminates in a sort of black and white scene before you the entire cargo area. It's full of booty and like stolen goods, food and things of that nature, crates, pots, precious gems. But in the middle of all this, you see something that stands out. You see what appears to be a glass coffin, almost, filled with water. And in that water, you see a shape. A woman's shape. But in place of legs, you see a tail of a fish. She lies there. What do you do?
In my I'm gonna try to make a knowledge nature roll
That would be...
to see if I can identify what
Go
this creature is.
Go ahead.
13.
You've heard tales of people of the ocean, I suppose, sea nymphs and the like, but you're not quite sure what sort of creature this is. Probably some sort of sea-dwelling humanoid, as far as you're concerned.
I take it I'm shackled to the hull or the deck or whatever.
Yeah, you got like ropes tied to you. Yeah.
Mhm.
They're not too worried that you'll escape.
Hey! Psst.
I'm gonna roll a dice real quick. Let's see here. Yep. Gonna roll a hidden dice. Here we are. 20. You see like some movement from the glass circle, the chest, coffin, but probably nothing that could indicate that you caused it. Maybe it was just the rocking of the ship that caused it, perhaps.
in terms of my perception, is there anything kind of sharpish nearby?
That's a good point. Actually, there are daggers and like ornamental swords and stuff like lying around. But close to you, you probably have to roll some kind of check to reach one of these objects.
I take it that would be Dex.
Yes, that would be a probably an sleight of hand, actually, or no, probably not sleight of hand, but like a, I'll say it's a either hold on, I forget the I forget that Pathfinder terminology. One moment. Let me see the checks here. Intimidate, no. Survival, no. So that would be a acrobatics, if you want to be like try to. Oh, I don't know. I know. Maybe if you time it with the next wave, you could like reach it like with the momentum, that sort of thing. So that could probably be an acrobatics check, I suppose. Right. Yeah. So roll me an acrobatics.
It's a 9, so...
Yeah, you're
no
sort of
good.
like get shuffled over to the side and just like you can't barely get. You're now in an awkward position. That's like you have to wait some more until you can try again. So I will go to Nazimra. You're hearing the drumming of the war drum, I suppose. Keep rowing, you lazy wretches! And you have 2 people as your neighbors, and just rows upon rows of individuals in front of you. Overworked. And you do see someone like moving around the lane, sort of like in the middle of the two sides of the row, like they say the starboard and port side of rows of oars. A guy moving in the middle, sort of like inspecting the different slaves. He's got like a cat of 9 tails in his hand, and sort of like looking around for anyone that might be misbehaving or slacking. And you do see keys hanging to his side, actually. Sort of in a keychain, key ring.
All right.
Sort of like it sort of like dangles as he moves from his leg back and forth. You get the metallic sort of jingling sound.
Okay.
If you want to try and do something, you'll have to do a sleight of hand check.
Oh, that's what I was
But
thinking.
yeah, he'll pass you soon enough. So, do you want to try anything like that? If you fail, you might get some lashings.
Yeah. I'm willing to give it a try. My sleight of hand has total
Go
of
on, then.
4, so do I just do a +4?
Yeah, go on then. Roll me a sleight of hand.
Okay, so how do I type that in roll 20?
/roll 1d20 +4. Or you can use the dice roller, which is like underneath the initiative order on the site up here.
That didn't work. Well, unless I do
Actually,
if I do a roll skill.
Oh, there. That's good.
Damn.
not
You
damn.
you sort of like
That was not.
you know, mind your own business for a bit, and you notice the chain there, and you sort of like as they roll, like row, and then you like go underneath and just you got his keys now, like none the wiser, and he just keeps moving. Actually, I'm gonna roll a little bit of a check to just in case. Just in case. Just in case he succeeds. Just roll it. No, he didn't succeed. Okay. So you have keys now.
Alright. I want to use...
What do you intend to do with these keys, I wonder? And
Well-
could one of them lead to a spooky, scary guy in a cage? Probably. Who knows? Maybe.
Alright.
Speaking of,
Let me see.
it's like, yeah, you're not so tough now, are you, Mr. Leonosian warrior, in your little cage, eh? I bet you couldn't hurt a fly in there.
Argyris tries pulling with his strength on the chains just to see how the strong they
Strength
are.
check. Yeah, you see this like fat-looking pirate with oily hair and like broken teeth. He's like smiling. Oh,
Fucking nat 20!
you break one of your like, let's say your foot, like shackle. It's your freeze like, "Ah! Boss, he broke one of the shackles. We need to restrain him. Come on. And like the guy in like the guy pays attention. He's like, what? It broke. And like the guy that pays attention just walks up. We need to get the boss right away. And the two of them like runs upwards. And now you see the rowing area seems a little unattended at the moment.
I want to take this opportunity as Nazim Ra to go, alright, let's start break for it. And I start unlocking I start unlocking my shackles, their shackles, and go as fast as I can.
Oh, you
to
go
unlock shackles.
keys! You go keys! Alright, give me loose here. And there's like some other people like, we're gonna get free! We're gonna get free, lads! Oh, we need to get out of here! It's like, wait, shh. And I, like, do you go for the do you wanna like unlock everyone around you, or like do you wanna go for the guy with the cage? Or what do you wanna do?
What I want to do is have it be everyone around me that I can while they're turned around, focused on the cage, and once I have as many as I can when they start turning around,
Roll
I'll
me
try to-
acrobatics and see. You can see how many you can get. I'll say like that
Acrobatics.
minus like rounded by half. That's how many you get.
Okay, so because I want to go to the cage after I do this.
Yeah. Oh, you get half of 18.
So he frees about 9 people, doesn't he?
Yeah, you managed to free 9 people in your whilst they are like distracted. Like, oh, we need to get new shackles for this guy. He's
Prostak ma.
fucking strong.
You did
Alright.
it again!
It's not just. This is just my nature of my campaigns. They're more gritty. Okay. I don't like to censor myself, even if I have to.
Yeah, we'll get to censoring at some point. Alright, it's time for a different method. And then this is when Nazim tries to get to the cage to sneak in to unlock the cage.
Roll a stealth check.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for.
Prostak ma.
Right. We better get some really strong materials this time. Blessed blooded bronze, my ass. We need to get something like steel or something.
Prostak ma.
Expensive, eh? All right, then let's see. Do they actually get to you though?
Should I roll?
Let's say you
acrobatics?
stealth, but
With
don't manage to get.
advantage?
Nah, there's no such thing as that.
Ah, shit.
Maybe, but
What the
I
thing
could
for
be nice.
9 escaping shit crew.
I mean, I say this is like a pretty cool opportunity. So I'll say you can roll again. Why not?
Roll
It's
against
the
the
introduction session. You can get advantage. I'll say. Go on.
Prostak ma.
So like, okay, what happens is the little like little chubby like almost completely like no teeth left sort of pirate with oily hair and like sort of walks up to you like, wait, you're not supposed to be let out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're supposed to be rowing now.
Yeah, so
Did someone let you out or something?
We could say that.
And
Well, oh, I see. I see. You're the fancy one, right? Like the one that's going all expensive. That's gonna make real good money. Does the captain want you right now? Oh, I see. Maybe. All right. So you can roll like a bluff or something like that, or diplomacy, to try and get you out of the situation.
yeah, I could do that. So do diplomacy to try and get my way out of this. Can I do a diplomacy and a sleight of hand to try and unlock the cage?
Sure.
Before
You
it's another
do
area.
diplomacy to try and like distract him, like
Yeah.
maybe confound him a little bit, and see. I'll see if he. Oh, that's pretty good. I'll see if he suspects anything specifically. Okay. Okay. Wait. I'm not so certain you're supposed to be here at all. Stay away from that cage, mate. I know what you think. I know what you're doing. I see what you got there.
Nah, yeah, I wasn't trying this. What are you talking about?
Uprising! Prisoners escaping!
Can I roll like a
Prisoners escape! Prisoners escape! And he like starts yelling and like, now?
Can I throw the keys to one of the other slaves with the shackles?
Sure.
What would I need to roll for that?
Acrobatics again, or just a attack, I suppose.
Attack?
Plus with your dexterity modifier. A ranged attack, I suppose. Oh, it's not terrible.
Damn.
Yeah. So one of the prisoners managed to. Oh, I'll take it. He grabs it and like, wait, you can't have those. And he sort of like runs towards them, like, give me that back. And he sort of like leaps towards the keys, like the. And then like, oh, you want these, do you? And he sort of like casts to another set of prisoners, like, wait, this is unfair. Hold on. And now. So what do you do now? You hear footsteps above deck.
I was trying to look for a lockpick skill, but I don't think there is one.
That's sleight of hand as well,
Oh, it is?
I believe.
Alright.
Yeah, it is.
I want to try and have Nazim Ra use his claws to try and pick
Could
the
be
lock.
disabled device. Is there disabled device in this?
I see a disabled device.
Yeah, this disabled device. That's lockpicking.
Alright, warrior. I have an idea. I'm gonna try and unlock this cage, and we're gonna try and make a break for it for everyone. Sound good?
If you free me, by areas shall be done.
Alright.
Besides, they should fear they have.
Yes.
Is that good enough? I have sense it's fine. What? Whoops.
Oh, what's that then?
You put up a song thing. Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that
Is it
is that copyright?
Sadly, yes.
Oh, we have to use royalty free.
Can't use that, mate.
God damn it.
I mean, if you want to do monetization, it has to be royalty free or some kind of agreement.
Oh right, but this is just between us. This is the unofficial.
Well,
Then unfortunately, Jestre can't listen to that. Then
well, viewers, if you can read that link, you can also hear the theme of
you can decipher.
Argyris.
Or rather, the scene that's about to go down.
Oh god. Yeah, you're basically. Gears, why don't you roll us? If you want to try and escape further, you could definitely try now.
Alright, I'll roll another strength check.
Yep.
It's not
Let's
showing
get
up.
this.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, these are heavy. These are strong, but you got lucky that time. You got that right moment where the ship was like also just you know like go like what's the word?
Was it going through a bow wave, like as if
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
exactly.
rocking?
It was rocking in a very specific way, and just at that moment, you got with the momentum, you managed to just, with your full might, free your foot, a leg.
So my feet are free, but not my hands.
Yeah. Or you could like run away with the cage.
Yeah, trying to hop around the cage.
Use it as a ram.
I guess in my
that's
13 didn't
fantastic
work
idea.
for it.
That's
No.
probably another strength
No.
check to see if I could run with a cage.
At this point, a lot more people actually starting to rowers are starting to like free themselves with this key, and they've managed to like just pile on to this one pirate dude. Like, no, I surrender, and they lock him up on the spot instead. Now he's there, basically the only rower there. He's like, lads, God damn it, I don't want to censor myself.
You don't.
All right, lads, let's get this revolution started. So you have about 30 rowers at your command at this point, and you see some pirates sort of like coming down the stairs like, what's this then, hey? Oh.
Seizing the moment, Argyris said, "The revolution doesn't start until I am free. If you need me to free you, then release me, and I will get us off this ship."
Who has the keys?
Speaking of getting off this ship, you hear a loud crash. Specifically, Hazen's character. Again, what's his name?
Delphus.
Delphus. You hear this quite vividly, quite clearly. Like you hear the creaking of wood and breaking of wood as something pierces the hull of the ship, and water starts streaming into it, and you're feeling it on your face, like, oh shit. And at this point, the shape in the coffin actually looks out, and like you see her face, actually beautiful face. It's like almost like a marble statue, like perfect, almost sort of a face, piercing eyes. She's sort of looking out. They're like glowing in the sort of the rays of the above stairs cracks of the boards, and she looks around and starts thrashing, like almost like trying to like force open the her glass prison.
Right. I will try and shimmy my way closer to the
Roll me another
acrobatics.
acrobatics check this time. Yes. Maybe you can try and.
It'll have 11.
I'll say the cage sort of tilts a little bit because the impact of whatever just struck this ship sort of like can be felt everywhere. Also upstairs, you feel it too up there, and like the cage itself sort of tilts over, and you see one of the sharp implements. Actually, why don't you roll me a reflex save, Hazen?
18.
Yeah, you do not get skewered by sharp objects in the pile. Instead, you manage to evade those weapons, instead landing on the slightly softer coins. feeling a little stiff though.
But I can reach the
But you
implement
can
and
reach
try
those now, and you can now free
and,
yourself.
try and saw my bonds free.
Yeah, you managed to saw your bonds free, and in the nick of time too, because you feel water at your knees at this point. If you were lying on the ground there, you probably would have started drowning.
Yeah.
Above stairs, you feel the entire ship rock by a powerful force hitting it. And you hear men screaming, like the sound of battle can be heard, actually, from above stairs. And the spires that are like looking at the rebellion looks up like, what's going on? Norfolk! You can hear from above stairs someone screaming. And now, what do you do?
Still on QD.
I am going to try and open this casket.
Yes. You may. It is a... it seems to be some kind of enchanted lock, actually.
Yeah, I figured as much. Knowledge Arcana to try and
Yes.
determine the nature of the lock. Actually, I have Detect Magic.
Detect magic will do fine. This is an abjuration spell of rather powerful, quite potent variety.
Meaning,
It basically it's enhancing that lock to be powerful, to withstand something or other. Do you have actually? Why don't you roll? And in fact, since you cast Detect Magic, you do notice other magical auras around you, sort of like glowing in the water, sort of like almost like how like electric lights would glow in a pool almost.
mm-hmm.
You notice all about about 3 of them in your nearby area, actually. And you think one of them is a wand of some sort.
That'll do.
Right.
Reach or dive down
You
and
grab
grab it.
this ornate wand. It seems to be made of bronze. It has engravings in some language, probably some ancient tongue. It has pictures of elephants and tigers and such. And it, you know, this is an evocation spell. It has in this wand, meaning damage.
Right, I will try and I point it at the lock, mutter.
Yeah.
Mutter. I'm trying to think of the right.
Prayer?
Apollo help. Apollo guide us, and then try and cast
Roll a religion
smash
check.
it.
Roll a wisdom check. It's a wisdom check. Hit it up.
12.
You feel Apollo's gaze upon you, but sort of it gets redirected elsewhere. But it was only a brief moment there. But you feel a little bit encouraged. But off the wand goes, and there's out of the wand comes a brilliant force of light out of it, and it homes to the target that you said, the lock. You wanted to hit the lock.
Yes.
Magic missile. This it strikes the lock and it breaks. It shatters. And the sarcophagus opens up and she like just leaps out of there and into the water. And she looks like she's almost choking. Like she hasn't breathed properly. It's like she just goes into the water, looks at you. Thank you. And she swims off into the hole that was created by whatever pierced the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Above stairs, there's just utter pandemonium going on. There's people fighting. The keys have been regained at this point, and they've been given to the cat person. We'll cover you! Get him loose quickly! And there's like people are just arming themselves with oars and using them as pikes almost, like to
Prostagma.
push these pirates away. Because there's like a gap, almost like Thermopylae sort of thing, just keeping them away. Because some of these are actually trained fighters, so using the oars as pikes wouldn't be such a terrible idea. Now these are big oars, so they're like broken in half in places, so they're like been destroyed and like used as pikes. That would actually be rather scary for like light armored people.
Pirates, I think.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's where
The Battle of Phoenica Bay.
Yes, of course. The famous battle of the 300 in Phoenica Bay.
So I would take this opportunity to unlock our Jiris.
Alright. The key, the key basically, you get this magical message, sort of like, are you certain you wish to proceed?
Yes, I'm certain I wish to proceed.
And yes, it accepts that, and up, you hear the click of metal, and you see this titan of a man sort of like stretching up, and he is now free.
To which
As the
Argyris
gate
looks
opens for him.
Argyris looks around, grabs an oar, and breaks it with his knee to fashion a makeshift spear. And
You see
lets
some
out.
of your fellow sailors that were like part of your old crew, like, Argyris!
Man, yells Argyris, tonight Ares dines in blood of these pirates. To me, for Lianos.
To hell with them! Arr!
Oh,
And with that, with the inspiration of Argyris at their side now, they push the pirates away, and you manage to take a hold of a part of the upstairs, and now you can see it. It is a siege, a slaughter almost. You see pirates being dragged into the depth by grappling hooks, being thrown by merfolk underneath, stones tied to these grappling hooks, dragging them down. And you see one moment actually. Hazen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that there is, of course, a way out of the storage area, because now it's actually starting to get a little uncomfortable. Also, do you want to maybe steal something before the ship goes down? It could be something very useful today.
I'm still holding on to the wand.
Yeah, you with your magic, with your detect magic, it's a little less powerful now. But you see like a ladder, a hatch up there, going up. And yeah, now it's to your chest, actually, the water.
I am going to... Ooh. Choices.
Little Bob, your chest. now.
I'm going to try and reach for another magical item, or just a sword or something.
Yeah, you grab the nearest weapon, and now there's more holes being punched into the ship, actually. So now there's a little bit above your chest now. A bit more, actually. Steadily going up. Feeling a little,
Yeah, I'm basically going to... I mean, I've been hearing the commotion upstairs, so I'm going to try and...
And by that, you hear, like... Was it Tigeras? No. Argyros, no. Damn it.
Argyros.
Was it Argyros? Yeah, the character name. Damn it. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's
Keiko.
Argyros. Keiko?
Was it Keiko? Was it Argyros, your character's name, yeah?
Yeah, RG.
So you hear it's like echoing through the ship.
You would also hear the phrase. You would also hear the phrase, or the motto, the battle cry, "Nia fligus putissimum."
Yeah, so going to try and climb up the ladder.
You don't need to roll a check for that, so.
Yeah, going to climb up the ladder. Hopefully, you know,
Take a
there
step
isn't a
check.
hatch obscuring the way.
Oh no.
Climb up and try and
Yeah,
join
the rowing, the rowers have abandoned their posts. Funnily enough, you probably could have expected that. So there's not actually anyone up in here, but you see like one last person sort of like goes up the stairs to the above stairs. But you hear the sound of battle filling the air, seagulls, and water splashing, and just you actually hear lightning, and as well in the distance, thunder. Sorry, you see lightning, but you don't hear lightning. You see thunder. You hear.
yeah,
You hear thunder.
You see
hear
thunder, you hear
thunder.
lightning.
God damn it!
follow them up into the fray.
Yeah, you should do that. Hello, I'm here. And yeah, you. It's like you're reunited. Like, oh, freedom at last. But
Kind of
short
split from
celebration because you're realizing you're on a sinking ship right now. As Hazen, you probably will inform them. Go ahead.
Go ahead and roll.
What were you gonna say to them?
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just sort of
Rejoining.
squinting my eyes at the bright light and just sort of
Oh yeah, you've been down there for a while.
looking
haven't
around.
you? Yeah, there's you see the site as well. You see the massacre, like essentially like merfolk dragging humanoids down to the deep with grappling hooks tied to rocks. Basically, two merfolks holding a big boulder, swimming with their tails to keep it up, sort of like above the surface. Another one with the grappling hook, sort of like doing like this, throwing it at the ship, sort of fishing for people. Just doing that over and over again. And once they grab someone, they just drop the rock. And he's do that over and over again.
Whew. Well, that explains the noise.
And you notice someone in the water.
The
Oh, yeah.
one I rescued.
Yeah. And Keiko, you notice someone. Actually, in the middle of this commotion, you see this armored individual. It's like, fight on, lads! We'll not let these sea wenches take our boat! And you see the captain of the ship. Captain Nestoraz the Black. He is an infamous vagabond that's been harassing the shores of Phoenica for years. He's a deserter of the army, actually, and actually converted to the Galicians' heretical monotheistic religion. And there he is. His daughter, come on, lads! We'll not let him take. You did this! You swine!
The god
Yeah.
of war. The god of war fated us, mate. You will not run, coward.
Face me then, you bastard!
With pleasure. I think the merfolk would enjoy your carcass.
And you're like, "Ah!" You're like charging each other. Imagine like the scene, like this for the side sort of thing. It zooms in as both of you are charging each other, and to the side there's this massive wave. It's shadowing the entire ship. You're looking up as you're charging. Fade to black.
End of session.
Not quite yet. You hear the sound of waves. You feel something on your skin, a little crab sort of like skittering away. You gain consciousness. Feel, your head hurts. You get up. You're entirely soaked. You're hurting everywhere. And you look around, and there's debris everywhere. And you see these palm trees swaying in the wind. You hear seagulls crying. And that is where we shall end the session. Thank you for joining us for the session 0 of Dawn of Faelin. I'll see you next time on Rugged Dice.